computer. Okay, thank you so much. All right, welcome back. We're only three today as we are missing Lance Fernandez and there's Claro. What are you doing, bro? Side view, side side to side move.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped.
Claro. So again, this is episode 33 for Who the Heck Are We? We do not have a guest today as we just want to discuss our own opinions about sports. No? And today, we will be talking about, since the Olympics hopefully will be pushing through, uh, I want to get these two guys' opinions on where the Filipinos will actually excel in. Whether what kind of
Your
tournament, maybe Olympics.
your opinion too.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's my opinion. All of our
Okay.
opinions, whether it's gonna be in Asia, Southeast Asia, on where the Filipinos can actually be or can actually excel. Is it gonna
Mhm.
be an individual sport or team sport? I mean, individual. I mean, Clara and Jay, we have a lot of individual talents. We have Pacquiao, we have
That's true.
Efren
Mm-hmm.
Reyes, diba? We even have
Mm-hmm.
chess and all that. But we also have success in basketball. Diba? We also have success.
Regional aspect.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, come on, guys. Sabihin ko na
Regional
ngayon na
aspect.
we are
Ano?
the Team USA of Southeast Asia.
Ayun, oh.
Yes. Oh.
We excel there.
We can beat them down low. We're good.
Yeah,
We have the
exactly.
bodies.
Nagpapapicture rin ng mga kalaban sa atin.
Exactly.
Oh, exactly. And then we were good in softball, the women's softball. So this one again, it's just it's our own opinion. I want to know where you guys are. Where, what individual sport, and what team sport do you guys think the Filipinos will excel in? Yeah, Claro, why don't I start with you? I know that you actually have a belt behind you. Is that part of your
It's a toy. It's the World Heavyweight Championship belt.
The big gold belt.
So it's not exactly the replica, just the toy version. So I found it in my closet. So there you go.
you wear that?
No, there's
You should wear
Velcro.
it on your shoulder.
Yeah, I should. Next time I see you guys, I'll wear it in the mall.
Yeah, no. Okay, go
Sure,
ahead.
sure.
Sige, let us know.
Remind me, and we'll take pictures and we'll post it. Okay?
And then you have to have your what's that? Your wrestling voice and your wrestling spiel, di ba?
Your
Okay.
wrestling gear na rin.
And then, do I have to wear swimming trunks like a wrestler?
Yeah, your speedos.
Eh, gusto ko yung bathing suit ni Kurt Angle.
Oh my god. I can't be.
No,
Okay.
I don't have that stuff. So let's get on with the show.
Go. So Clara, ikaw.
Okay, so first is I think when you go straight to the point, Filipinos have better chances at picking up gold medals or succeeding in individual sports. First, you look at I think this counts as economics.
Hmm.
Heidelin Diaz picked up a gold medal in the Asian Games, silver in the Olympics, gold in SEA Games. Gold was expected in SEA Games already because of how she performed at the continental level. How many mouths did you have to feed? One athlete.
Yeah.
But I'm a big basketball fan and it has a special place in my heart. But you have to fly out 15 people,
Yeah.
and that's 15 mouths to feed.
Okay.
And in the Olympics and in whatever sport, the worlds, you get one medal. In these multi-sport events, rather. So Olympics, okay, you win and you get one medal to your tally. That's 15 people getting one medal for your country. Heidelin Diaz in this situation, that's 1-1. Isa pang example. That's Michael Phelps, right? One athlete, 8 gold medals.
The record of it, yeah. He has a
Yeah.
record. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I call milk. You're able to milk
Sinulit.
everything out. Exactly. Sulit. Ayun. Yun. So perfect, right? That was one person you had to take care of. But I know that there's different ways to train for every single event. But you look at the logistics and the spending perspective, just because there's that one person, I think it's the individual sports. At the end of the day, in Olympics, that's the money. Those are the money sports.
Mhm.
You even look at the track and field athletes, and it's the same thing. You're able to get so many medals. Unlike let's say the team sports nga, basketball, football, you name it, volleyball. Um, one event and you're done. That's it.
Okay. So
Oh,
sa'yo talagang individual sport.
I see it in
oh,
individual sports, but don't get me wrong. I still love my team sports. It has a special place, of course, in childhood, and it shaped me to the person I am today with experience, watching and playing also to a certain extent.
Okay.
oh.
Ikaw, Jay.
Tama si Claro that it will all boil down to economics eh. Tama yung he has a good example in Michael Phelps, he has a good example in Usain Bolt, 'di ba? Na can participate in different events pero they're just one individual that is training ng isang beses lang, 'di ba? But can win different events.
Hmm.
However, in a Philippine setting, you also have to factor the economics in maintaining your craft. What am I saying tungkol sa training? For example, you mentioned Heidelin Diaz. Heidelin Diaz has to go abroad, 'di ba?
Mhm.
To somehow hone her craft a bit more. Like we mentioned in the previous episode kung saan yung nagda-drive ako pa uwi tapos nagsasalita pa rin ako, 'di ba?
That's right. Where you
What
actually
I
went to McDonald's and ano?
Oo. Ano yung sinabi ko nun, 'di ba? Heidelin Diaz will have a big target on her back, 'di ba?
That's right.
So she really has to level up her training and she can't do that here, 'di ba?
Hmm.
So in order for a Filipino to excel in an individual sport, you have to consider as well not only the economics of the sport itself, but also the economics in training for that sport. Ganito yan.
That's a very good ano ah.
Oo.
Okay, that's very good. Sige.
Ito, think about the sport. Individual sport na mahilig ang Pinoy, di ba? You can think of boxing, di ba? It's somehow a very economical sport. You can build your own home gym to start, o di ba? Or whenever you're idle, di ba?
That's
You
right.
can start training. However, yung maintenance doon also costs a bit more, 'di ba? Think of this. Ang kakainin mo, your diet, 'di ba?
Yun. Hmm.
That's somehow a very expensive diet, 'di ba? Kung hindi ka sanay doon sa science behind that diet, you have to hire a dietitian, you have to hire a nutritionist, a separate coach for that, 'di ba? And for you to gauge more or to be nung masasanay ka sa boxing ring, 'di
Yeah.
ba? You have to get separate set of trainers or coaches and sparring partners, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Magastos pa rin. Now, you think of a sport na kahit mag-isa ka lang, mag-excel ka. What
What
sport
sport
can
can
you
you
think
think
of
of
this? Kind of sport can you think of?
that you could just
Sige.
excel kahit ikaw lang?
At ikaw lang. Sige. 5,
Chess.
4,
Billiards.
3. Actually, you mentioned those two sports that are on the top of my head.
Mhm.
Billiards and chess.
Huh.
Tignan mo sa billiards. One time nagastos lang ng isang billiard table, set ng bola, at ng tako, di ba? Actually, kung meron ka lang kung meron lang bilyaran na malapit sa inyo, di ba? You can train there, di ba?
Yeah.
And by yourself, you can be like the next Efren Bata Reyes, di ba?
Hmm.
Ano ba naman yung sasali ka lang sa mga pocket tournaments, di ba? Para
That's
lang masana yung katawan mo o yung utak mo sa competition level. Sa competition level itself, di ba?
That's right.
Then, another thing, yung chess, di ba?
Hmm.
Same principle.
Same principle lang yun. You just need a chess set, chessboard, and yung mga kapitbahay mo, di ba, na marunong mag-chess, di ba, hamunin mo lang sila. Actually, do a speed game. Di ba? Kung magta-training ka na chess, you're gonna do tactics. Diyan lang ang YouTube, di ba? You can
Eventually, kailangan
pwede
din ng mga
mag-aral, di ba?
kalaro, people to
Yes,
train
kailangan
with.
din ng kalaro. Pero yun nga you don't have to pay you don't have to pay to get a bunch of yung professional talaga na kalaro. Di ba?
That's
Ano ba, mag-chat lang sila sa Facebook, magsama-sama yung mga chess enthusiasts. Ay, tara, training tayo. Ganito, ganito, ganito gawin natin.
you
Speed
can do it
game.
online now with chess.
Hmm? Yes, you can do it online. Exactly.
Simple
Actually,
yung logistics.
if you've heard about the professional chess league that is
Oh yeah,
going on right now, that is done online.
yeah, they're done
Di
online.
ba?
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Number one is billiard an Olympic sport?
I can't recall. And
No,
chess.
it's not an
No, it's
Olympic
not.
sport.
Not.
It's chess, an Olympic
No, it's
sport.
not.
No, it's not.
But my question is not necessarily not necessarily for Olympic sport. It could be
Oh,
as world number one.
yun nga. Oh,
Sporting
look,
as a whole.
that's why
As a whole.
we are winning in the Asian Games and the SEA Games pagdating sa billiards, 'di ba?
Yeah, that's right.
Nakailang gold medal na ba sila Efren Batares, 'di ba?
That's right.
I mean, we have a grandmaster in Eugene Torre, 'di ba? Who can still kick ass
Gosh, he's so.
after 2 or 3 decades in
But
the chess circuit, 'di ba?
but Jay, ang galing. I know I have a different question, but I want to piggyback on your question because
Hmm.
it's amazing how Filipinos or even athletes consider the gold medal as the number one. So if you get a gold medal, meaning the number one ka,
Mm-mm.
right? But if you go as like kasi si Efren Batas, number one in billiards, like wow, he's
As,
really known, right?
Oo.
Right, number one, but it doesn't have much of a as winning as a gold medal. So do you think that the gold medal has more weight in success? And
Kasi oo.
I'm putting bunny ears or
Oo.
diba, as a success than being number one. You guys understand my story?
Kasi yes. Kasi
Yes, yes.
the
Right.
gold medal is a big deal because that is yung masasabi mo, that is where it counts. 'Di ba?
So
Like
there's
for
more weight.
example,
Tama,
oh,
tama.
it's
Yeah.
like for example, you're a surgeon, you're a heart surgeon, you're operating on your patient, 'di ba? On that exact time, you have to perform a heart surgery, 'di ba? Hindi yung mamimili ka ng time na ay kailangan gawin ko to sa oras sa ganito kasi dito ako nagpe-perform ng maayos, 'di ba?
Hmm.
I mean, that's a one-time event that happens every 4 years or 2 years that doon masusukat yung galing mo as an individual athlete, diba?
Or
That
as
is where
athlete
it
as a whole.
counts.
Yeah.
Oo.
Mhm.
That is where it counts. So, that's why a gold medal doesn't matter if you're if you're world number one kasi the weight in getting that world number one spot is happening in every tournament available. For example, meron kang pinalalo na tournament na ganito, si Tournament A. You won in this one. However, ikaw lang yung lumaban doon na
Okay.
magaling, di ba? All the rest are mga nasa
Ibang level.
second tier,
Yeah.
third tier players
Second
lang.
level. Okay.
Pero yung mga kapwa mo elite is wala doon. Di
That's right.
ba? Yung mga kapwa mo elite nandun sa big tournament na yan na like the Olympics, di ba? So that is where it counts. That is where the biggest weight.
So the prestige is bigger.
Yes, it's there. It's all there.
Yeah. Galing. Okay, about you, Claro.
There
You
are
get the question, right? I mean, like,
yeah, I get the gist of it. No, there are sports that aren't in the Olympics yet.
Yeah.
So, but they have gained international status or recognition. I think by the world, pretty much by the global community. So, what happens there is okay, you do your best to succeed in your sport, and you succeed, whatever it may be, whether it be the worlds or another tournament. Because normally sports have their own world championships when there is no Olympics.
separated from the Olympics, right?
Separated pa rin.
Yeah.
Yes. And then if your sport eventually gets Olympic status, okay. Now you get a chance to do it at an even higher stage.
Right.
And something I can think of that's very prestigious. I don't really know if they really have a big market worldwide, but it gets out there. American football. It's not an Olympic sport.
Like American gridiron, you mean?
Yes,
Okay.
American. It's not an Olympic sport, but it's so prestigious, right? But these guys can't win an Olympic medal in playing that exact discipline. So ayun. But it's such a prestigious sport, but you don't degrade these athletes because they're not Olympians, right?
That's
Because
right.
you still see that it's a high level of competition. Yes, it's only in the USA. Yeah. But just side note,
Oh.
like before I end my part here, is that I'm aware that some players in football, American Gridiron, would play rugby with their national teams. And
Mm.
then you get to play in the likes of the Olympics and
Oh,
everything else.
or a World Cup. The
Yes.
rugby has its own World Cup.
Yes,
oh,
there, exactly. That's where they get to play. Yes, you have the physique, some traits from gridiron can be transferred to rugby. So that's the closest. It's still
Yeah.
not bad if you ask me. You
oh.
wanted to say something, Jay?
Actually, kung tutuusin, you're right. There are sport that it's not, wala sa Olympics yung level ng prestige nila eh. There's another example that I can think of. Tennis.
Yeah.
Which do you think it's more prestigious? The Grand Slams or the
Oh,
Olympics?
Grand Slams for
But
sure.
the Grand Slams,
Yeah.
that is the place where you'll see the likes of Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal,
Yeah.
Novak Djokovic play. Pero do you see them play in the Olympics? Very rare, di ba?
But
But they would. I
But
know
they
they
do.
do.
But they would,
yeah.
di ba?
I think
However,
Nadal did, and he won a
it
bronze. I think.
however, it is not something that they look forward to over and over again.
Yes, that's
Ah,
right.
Yeah.
They'll rather
it's like
concentrate on the.
it's like if they win it one time or they've been there one time,
Okay
yun
Tapos,
na.
na. They
ah,
won't do it again,
Mm.
'di ba?
that's right.
Can I
There's a lot of
piggyback on that?
factors. Oh,
True.
there's a lot of factors. Pero go ahead, Claro.
Galing. Okay.
Now that you say that, Sir Jay, depende rin sa culture and structure of each sport.
That's true. That's true.
Now that you
Oh,
Very
mentioned,
true
it
also.
that's
depends.
true.
Yeah, very true.
Because
Mm.
golf also, golf was in the Rio Olympics.
Mm.
Yes, it was first
Oh,
introduced in the Rio Olympics.
Yeah, and of course we have the Masters and everything, right?
oh.
But it's
Et-
just such a prestigious sport. Oh, let's. It seemed like, oh, let's do it in the Olympics too.
Mm.
Let's join the party because again,
Mm.
it's so different to be an Olympian.
Mm.
Yeah, because what Jay said, you have training of 4 years, and then diba, your training is so hard that your only time to prove yourself is in the Olympics,
Mm-mm.
right? That's why there's a big prestige
Mhm.
over the
Yes.
Olympics, right?
Yes, you get to prove yourself in all these other prestigious international tournaments, which are higher in preparation for the Olympics. But again, when it's the Olympics,
You
even
pay,
more people are watching. The lay people, the average Joes are watching. So you can
right?
even in yes, you maybe in the worlds you introduced yourself to an audience, but it's
Mm.
even bigger in the Olympics.
Because
It's
it's
even
Mm.
better.
it encompasses the whole world, or
The whole world.
yeah,
Yes,
the world.
Oh,
exactly.
it's an international showcase, 'di
That's
Yes,
ba?
of
correct.
everything.
Everything. That's
Oh.
right.
That's a buffet of sports, diba?
I love it. That's why again. Hopefully we get to see the Tokyo Olympics. I'm just adding this as a hopeful. No. Okay,
Mhm.
so both of you are in the thought that we'll be succeeding in individual sports. But Jay, you mentioned something about training and technology.
Mm.
Do you think which sport do you think that the Filipinos will succeed here lang sa Pilipinas na that the training is here and the technology is here.
Mhm.
Hindi sila lalabas. They're not gonna go out of the country to train, but they'll grow their talents here lang. What individual
Well,
sport?
I've mentioned billiards and chess. Apparently, they're not in the Olympics. Pero you can think of one that is about to make its debut in the Olympics. The one where Marjeline Didal participated in the Asian Games and the SEA Games.
Skateboarding.
Skateboarding, di ba? I mean, she can just watch a lot of YouTube videos of skateboarders. Then, pagkanood niya, labas lang siya sa park, gayahin na niya, di ba?
Mhm.
I don't know if she needs to apply some other physical training like, what do you call this? Yung pang sa talon,
Strength and conditioning.
o
Plyo,
strength and
plyo.
conditioning, plyometrics, di ba?
Mag-Vertimax, no?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, di ba? I mean, there are coaches here that offer a variety of those things that will develop, I mean, your strength and conditioning, your plyo, di ba? Which also could be done
Here.
online. Oh, here. That's
Right.
online. Siya lang yung gumawa ng sarili niya, di ba?
Mhm.
So, I think that's one na
Actually,
pwede nating mabigyan ng focus since already an Olympic sport. And, ayun nga, it's gonna, papakita rin siya eventually.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's gonna be demonstrated in Tokyo or it's gonna start as well in the Paris Olympics in 2024. but it's something we could build on or work
Right.
on.
Mhm.
And yun yung magagawa natin na the most economical sport that I can think of so far.
Okay. How about you, Claro naman, I'll ask you a different question.
Okay.
Not technology, but the physique of the Filipinos. Aside
Mhm.
from boxing, aside from what
Ano pa?
Jay said, chess and billiards. What else do you think? Kasi you mentioned kanina individual sport. What other sport you think the Filipinos can excel in because of their physique? I have my own. I'll give
Okay.
my own. I'll give my own later.
Mhm. I have my default answer there, but another one popped into my head. It's I think I think table tennis. You don't need height there. It's
That's
a
right.
very technical sport.
We can
You
actually excel on that. I
We could
agree.
actually excel there. That's true.
Yeah, we weren't worrying about the height of, let's say, the late great, the goat Yan Yan Lariba.
That's
We
right.
just talk about how immortal she was in the
Yeah.
collegiate game, and like, okay, we're not surprised she's going to the Olympics. We know she can do it. She trained abroad also in her earlier years. I think she advanced her training there. So that's one. And I honestly think we have a chance also in football. Just
Individual. It's a team. You want a team? Okay. Okay. Okay.
no, because of physique. If you
Yes,
factor in physique,
I
height
agree.
is not really a problem in football. Yes, height can be an advantage.
As
When
a goal.
LA Galaxy, height can still be an advantage in football,
That's right.
but the advantage is not very evident, unlike basketball.
Di ba pag tumatakbo, mas malalaki yung stride ng mga mas matatangkad,
Yeah,
mas
Yeah.
malala yung hakbang nila.
exactly. That's the thing I wanted to mention also, because when LA Galaxy played the Ascals here, wow, that was 10 years ago. That's gonna be 10 years in December or November.
You serious?
Yeah,
Wow.
tagal na, grabe. Chiefy Caligdong was running, and one of
Mm.
the LA Galaxy guys just straight up sprinted at him and dispossessed him. Ang laki ng strides. Grabe.
Di ba? Oo.
That explains it there in that situation. But you can be too tall also.
Peter Crouch. Remember Peter Crouch?
Pag
Um,
mababa yung sipa mo,
he'll
pag
win the
mababa yung
headers
tinap mo.
there.
You win the
Oo.
headers. Yeah.
Yes, but the thing is, if you're too tall, I think your center of gravity will be too high.
That's true.
Um, Another thing, of course, is the ball is kept on the ground when you play, right?
That's right.
Oh,
So
make your strike slow.
that's
But
yes,
aren't like Brazilians or the South Americans? They're not that tall.
they're not that tall.
They're
Yeah,
not that tall.
like
We're
there's
almost
no.
the same height as them.
Well, yeah, you look at Messi also. Messi's pretty short. He's not a tall guy. I think Neymar too.
Neymar is not tall. Yeah.
Exactly. Like when you see these basketball players in the Philippines from the big leagues, and when you see them, you have to go, "Whoa!" You look up. He looks tall.
Yeah.
But when you're in football, you go, "Oh, cool. He's the same height as me."
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
So
But
height,
yes,
height is not might in football.
I have a
um,
curious
may
question.
asterisk pa eh,
Oh.
kasi may konting advantage pa rin eh, di
Oh.
ba? Like
It's true.
goalkeeper,
Yeah. Yeah,
there's
goalkeeper.
an advantage if you're tall. But there's a problem if you're too tall, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
But you could get a one player lang as a goalkeeper. It doesn't have to be like the whole like a basketball team where everybody has to be like 6'2" or
Yes,
gigantic,
yes,
right? You know what I
yes.
mean? So
Exactly.
that's the balance in football. Sige, Jay,
You
sorry,
can-
go
I
ahead.
have a
Ay, sorry.
curious question. So kung
Sige.
halimbawang,
Sige.
isipin mo if you mentioned like if Lionel Messi or Neymar, they're not that tall, di ba? You guys mentioned. So for example, kung maglakad sila halimbawa sa Green Hills, na sila lang, na walang security whatsoever, just like ordinary people, di sila pagkakaguluhan, di sila
They're just walking
oh,
because they're
May-
not tall. Because they're just
kasi compare this if like a Kevin Durant, paglakarin mo sa Green Hills, imposing ang tangkad, di ba?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
So easily makikita siya, makikilala siya.
Mhm.
correct.
Very easily. But put in Messi or Neymar or I don't know if you could add Beckham minus the
Beckham's not that
tattoos.
tall, Beckham's not tall.
Yun nga
Beckham's
eh.
too much of an icon. Yes, he will get mobbed.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Yes.
Pero like sige, si Neymar. Neymar na lang.
If-
Pagdakarin mo sa Green Hills.
he won't stick out like a sore thumb. If that's your question. If that's
No,
if,
yun.
if that's the question the answer to your question, he will not stick out as a sore thumb. He will be part of the crowd. He won't stick out.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Most,
You look at the ASEAN football players,
Mm.
and they'll sort of blend in here within the region
yes,
because
yes,
they're not 6'9", they're not 6'8", right? But the reason why they're known is culture, eh.
that's
Diba?
right. Sir Clary,
Exactly.
you're gonna say something about
Sige, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know, that's pretty much what you said, no? If my goalkeeper, okay, you're tall, then let's develop you to be a goalkeeper because
that's right.
you're in a good height. Yeah, but if you can be too tall, I think also to be a keeper, right?
Yeah,
I
because
don't. I think
when you ground, when you
he saved the low shots.
low shots, yeah.
And I think if you have a Yao Ming at 7'6", siya yung goalkeeper, the head's popping above the crossbar, right?
Wala.
That's too tall
Ang
for
bagal na nun, yeah.
that. There, that's too tall already for football.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I love this conversation. For me,
Mm.
there's two two individual sports that I want that I think the Filipinos can excel in. One is fencing,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Mhm.
other you, is tennis.
Pwede
Sige.
tennis, yes,
Oo.
yes.
Sige, I
And,
want to hear your
and tennis.
reason.
Fencing, you could get someone who's 6'1" or 6. You know, you have the problem is because the problem here in the Philippines, and we have to all admit. I mean, all of us in this podcast should admit when somebody is tall, the first thing that they want, the first thing the parents want them to do is play
Mag-basketball.
Basketball.
ball, right? So at the early age
What's
of
next? What's next? Volleyball.
volleyball, but imagine if you have a 6 foot teenager, 6 foot, right? And that's a lot. That's common nowadays, with all the Filipinos going tall. We have 5'11", we have 5'9", diba?
Mm.
Playing fencing, starting with fencing, okay na yun.
That's some crazy reach
It is a crazy reach,
when
Oo.
striking.
and you need reflexes. And mga Pinoy magaling mag-reflex. Sa EDSA pa nga lang, when they're passing, crossing the sea, magaling na sila.
The
You know,
training starts there. No?
patintero.
Oo.
I mean, we have the agility and the physique and the agility, the physique, even training, and we could go abroad for fencing. And
Mm-hmm.
same
Mhm.
goes with tennis. Again, I think the shift should really be because you're tall, automatic basketball na. Hindi. Or automatic volleyball ka na.
Volleyball.
Or automatic team sport ka na. You
Mhm.
start individual. You start individual. You're tall. You should
Mhm.
try the sport. You're
Oo. Pero kung tutusin, meron naman mga tall guys that actually delved into team sports. For example, on the top of my head, I don't know if you go if I don't know if you know Sam Morrison.
Taekwondo?
Yeah, he's a taekwondo jin, competed for us at the SEA Games,
Yeah.
multiple SEA Games, and he's 6'7".
oh,
I didn't know Sam Morrison was 6'7".
wow. See?
Let me confirm that.
Ay,
Pero
pero
he's tall,
ano,
good.
heavyweight siya eh. Heavyweight eh.
Yeah, but heavyweight ano siya? Heavyweight category siya sa
Taekwondo is another one if you train in Korea.
Oh yeah, of course.
mm,
That's like the mecca of Taekwondo.
Yeah, it is the mecca of taekwondo.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
diba, like fencing for me, we could be so good in fencing.
Mhm. What
And
I do know for fencing
oh,
is that we're competitive in fencing. We pick up medals in SEA Games.
we pick up
oh,
medals.
Yes.
As an
so
Olympic
correction,
sport, it could also be, you know, they go.
correction, 6'1" lang pala siya.
6'1". I
Wow,
don't
wow, from 6'7"
Mag-
to 6'1". Thank
I
you,
don't
Google.
maganda kasi.
that's half
Parehas
a
kasi yung diretso, mo 6'7",
that's
6'1".
half a
Check my
foot
notes.
difference.
He's 6'1".
6'1",
I
6'1".
love you, Jay. That's
That's
very
okay.
good. 6'7" to
Okay pa
6'1".
yung 6'1", pang heavyweight pa yan eh.
Yes.
No, pero going back to your point again, yun nga, there are some, actually, lahat naman ng sport, there's no sport na hindi ko maisip na being tall is a disadvantage. Very rare.
I have one.
Diba? Ano yun?
Racing.
Gymnastics. Huh?
Racing.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Racing.
Absolutely.
Why did you say motorsport? Motorsport is
Oh.
a sport that we could actually excel in. Claro.
Okay. I'll get into that.
Oh, sige,
Mm.
go,
I was
go, go,
was
really.
thinking about saving that for later.
Oh, okay, sige, we'll save it for later.
No,
Kasi,
but I don't mind. I don't mind. Okay lang. Let's just do it now.
Sige
Okay.
na, let's do
Because
sige, sige.
you're asking also if you're to do a team or individual sport, what would you pick? I did team sports growing up. So now my answer is I want to try something I didn't do before, and
Yes.
that's individual through racing. Okay, racing first is disadvantage if you are tall. Normally, when you reach a competitive level, your your carts or your cars all have to weigh the same, so they weigh everyone.
Yes.
So
Even
Oh,
yeah, okay.
if all cars or carts have to be 50 kilograms, everyone has to be 50 kilograms.
that's true.
So
Oh, tama.
let's say Sir J. Let's just say for the purpose of this discussion,
No.
you weigh 30
I
kilograms.
no, I weigh 87
Oh, no,
kilograms.
no. Just for the purpose of this discussion. Kaya nga, I'm
He
gonna make you
wishes. He
payatot.
wishes to be
Yes.
Karate.
I'll make you payatot. I'll lower the numbers for the purpose of this discussion.
Sige lang, okay.
Minimum weight natin dito sa kotse, 50 kilos.
Wow,
Yes.
that's so that's
Example lang. Example lang.
okay, okay.
Example
Oh,
lang. Because iba talaga yung figures. I'm just to summarize, just to simplify.
hypothetical values.
Sir J is 30 kilos. So, they will add 20 kilos of weight to the car. So, he hits 50.
Wow.
But the 20 kilos you will add, you get to distribute it. Weight distribution.
Along around
Oh,
car.
Yes.
tama naman.
Yes. And weight distribution, that can work to your advantage.
Because you could put it in the front or in the back.
Yes.
Okay.
Oo.
And I think with the center of gravity and everything. Okay, let's say I weigh, this is impossible though. I weigh 25 kilos.
Wow, malnourished. I have to send you food.
Oh.
From
cheese
ano, I'll send you food from ano yan, homemade, ano yan?
Homemade.ph.com.
Homemade PH.
That's
Mm.
right.
Sponsor. Thank you very much.
We will send you food from homemade.com.ph. Yeah, there.
Nag-cheesecake lang ako last weekend, no? So, hell no, I'm not 25 kilos. Anyway, homemade.ph.com. Use the
Oh.
code who the heck for your
Yum.
discount.
Love it.
So, going back, sabi natin, for the purpose of this discussion, 30 kilos yung body mass ni Sir J. So, you add 20 to hit 50, which is the regulation. Wait, let's say I'm 25
Okay.
kilos. You have to add another 25 so that we hit 50, which is the minimum.
That's right.
But-
Okay.
But since we had to add 25 kilos of weight to my car to hit 50, you get to distribute that again.
Yes.
You get to distribute that again. So that's the advantage you have. So the lighter you are, the better.
Better.
That's why race car drivers have to be lean. And it's a disadvantage if you're tall, because of course you'll bring in more mass.
Right. Mark
let me
Webber
say-
was tall.
Mark Webber was tall, so that was a
Webber.
disadvantage
Yes.
to him. Same with Nico Hulkenberg back in his day, which is quite recent. May isa pa eh. May isa pa. Oh,
Kimi
The F-
Räikkönen was tall, right? Kimi Räikkönen was tall.
they never said anything about Kimi Räikkönen.
But I know see Mark Webber was tall. That's
Mark
why-
Webber was
yeah.
Mark Webber was tall. There was an F1 driver early in this century, and he was too tall
Mm.
because the cockpit is so tiny.
Yun nga
Because
eh.
You have to
they
go
try-
You can imagine it's leg room, di ba?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Maliit
Yeah.
din yung
Nauubos.
cockpit because they try to save on space to make the car as aerodynamic as possible. So the
Oh.
Red Bull that Mark Webber drove in, let's say, 2010 onwards, when he was very competitive, had a very small cockpit. So they said it was a struggle for him to
Oh,
get
wow.
inside the car
Hmm.
because a smaller cockpit meant giving him a more competitive chassis. Car. So that's how it works pretty much in racing.
Okay.
O paano if you're overweight? Siyempre, talo ka na, di ba?
Oh, yeah.
Dinaandar yung sakyan mo. You know?
With what you're describing, Claro, that means the Filipinos can be.
Yes, you remind me of something, actually. You reminded me of something. And people are saying, oh, you can get into racing because you look at Felipe Massa. This article was in his prime. He's a short guy.
Yeah, Filipinos.
He's like he's Brazilian and he can show like us Filipinos, we're short guys. We can succeed too.
yeah.
Height is
Mm-mm.
not a disadvantage in racing. Ayun nga, it's an advantage. Sorry. Not being tall is an advantage in racing. Since Felipe Massa short, mababa yung body mass niya. Di naman 25 kilos, no?
Yeah.
But since he's a very light guy, they got to distribute the weight around his car. And that's better. That's more effective.
And F1 is very prestigious. Imagine a Filipino winning
Super.
F1. Wow, see,
Oh.
it carries more weight than Olympic gold.
Yo, even just getting into F1 will
Yeah,
already
even
be
getting to F1.
crazy.
We nearly had one, diba?
Marlon
got-
Stockinger,
yeah, Marlon. Look at that. Oh.
he was a step below. And when he won a race in GP2,
F2,
which
yeah.
is known as F2 today.
F2, yeah.
We played the Philippine national anthem in Monaco.
Imagine that, see?
Oh.
Oh,
And
imagine.
that small community of F1 motorsports fans, and we were going crazy.
Yeah. So,
What
so
more
that's
if it happened
Malapit na siya.
now? Sayang. But unfortunately, Marlon's out of the loop already. I
but,
can't recall if he's still racing,
no,
but
I don't. Yeah.
he'd go to other formulae.
But that's why the only thing a problem with F1 it's or motor racing, it's very expensive.
Ay, gasolina.
Yeah, and you have to be like really deep pocketed. Like you have to have a lot of money, like a
Yes,
lot
you
of
do.
money. Yeah,
Like, di ba ano, mababa
diba?
yung cost of living here in the Philippines.
Yeah,
Oo.
And then cost of living is higher in Europe. And
yeah.
when most of the F1 drivers now, you say, "Oh, it is so difficult for us to get funding." I'm like, man, okay.
If they have a hard time,
If they had a hard time, paano na tayo, di ba?
that's
And I
right.
know parts for like go-karts are a bit cheaper in Europe, for
Europe,
example. Everything's made there. Like Saudi is French, Tony Kart is Italian, go-kart brands. They have to ship that stuff here.
that's right. So
I think even from Japan, mahal, ayun.
mahal,
Tapos
mahal talaga.
gasolina.
Yeah. So that's the only drawback of
Oo.
motorsport is how expensive it is now.
Yeah,
Please,
but
yeah.
you know,
Oo.
Sige, sige,
before
go.
we move on,
Okay.
we see so much racing on the road right now. When you have to fight your jeepney drivers and your tricycle
I know.
drivers,
Bigyan.
Imagine that.
there's a lot of slicing and dicing already. Daming overtakes yan, ha?
Imagine that. We
Grabe.
would be so good. I mean, like, dude, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Tapos yung mga nagbe-banking. Ito, banking ba? Sa,
Banking?
no, you know those guys
Yung,
in the
banking.
scooters? Oh, you know those guys in the scooters? When
Okay,
Yung,
yes.
on
yung,
Sunday
when they go
morning,
down like
they
that.
go,
Yeah.
Oh my
they go
goodness.
to Cavite or to Antipolo or to do sa Tanay.
Yung mga Valentino
Mga
Rossi.
mountainous.
The ones that go up like that, yung
Oh,
ganon.
nag-aala Valentino
Yeah.
Rossi sila doon.
Yung mga
Diba?
Ikaw, so,
Rossi.
yeah, so we're all in the fact that individual sport will get us to put us in a prestigious level in sports,
Mm.
But
Mhm.
there are other sports, team sports that I think we will also succeed in. Meron din, 'di ba?
Mm.
Sige, Jay, what's yours?
I can think of is baseball. Baseball,
Ay, parehas
softball.
tayo.
Oh,
Parehas
here's the thing,
tayo.
here's the thing kasi. Sa baseball kasi, ang you can say, your main asset in playing baseball is your IQ. If you have a great presence of mind to recognize what is going on in the field in a given situation, and you combine that with your action, depending doon sa ipinresenta sa yung circumstance, di ba? You're gonna excel. For example, if you're a shortstop, you see a runner on the first base, dumating yung bola sa'yo, a grounder. The ball came running at you. You recognize na may papunta sa second. So what you're gonna do, di ba? Bato muna sa second base, then the second base, knowing na merong parating pa sa first base, babato niya doon.
Yeah.
So double play ka.
It's a technical sport, yeah.
Yes,
It's a very technical sport, correct.
Very technical sport, but it doesn't require that
Much height.
massive physical abilities that is required in a sport.
I agree.
You just have to throw, di ba? If you throw hard, you throw long, it's an advantage, di ba?
Mhm.
I agree.
Basic
May-
naman ng pagtakbo, di ba?
There is
May konting
physical,
equipment.
Equipment. It's an advantage.
No, there's
May-
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
May equipment pa sa baseball, no? That can get a bit
Eh,
pricey. But
there's
you
an
can still play
equipment.
the basics with your bat.
Yeah,
and the
because
ball.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's not like
you can still train by yourself. You can run, di ba?
it's not like it's
You can
motorsports
throw.
expensive.
Yeah, motorsport is beyond
Yeah.
Oh, it's
beyond.
hindi naman siya motorsport expression. I mean, you just have to compile a group of 20 people, siguro. Or 20 to 25 people. So you can play 9A side sa baseball. Tapos may mga reliever na pitcher or designated hitters, di ba? Then you can play. Just give them gloves. Isang
I
bat
agree.
lang. Ayun,
I
di ba?
Yeah.
It's-
Simple,
I mean,
simple
yun
pa
nga.
rin.
Yeah.
The athletic ability is not that demanding. Di kailangan matangkad ka. Basta marunong ka lang pumalo, marunong ka lang mag-field, marunong ka tumakbo, marunong ka sumalo. Then you're good.
Yeah. I agree with you, Jay, and I'll also just explain more in detail. I don't. It's not as physical as like basketball,
Yes,
where you have to
oh.
climb bodies, you have to do that.
Hmm.
It can be physical. I mean, you need your
Pero
physical attribute.
ready ka dapat matakel, if, lalo na kung catcher ka.
Oh yeah, yeah. So like,
And what if you get hit by the ball? That's a hella fast ball.
oh, that's a heck. Oh yeah.
90 mph ba mga ganun? I
I
forgot
mean,
the
Oo.
figures.
you have to be very agile. You have to be very fast. And there's another word that's skipping my mind, but there's athletic abilities that you need in baseball, right? But it's
Hmm.
not. It doesn't. It's not determined by height
Mhm.
or by physical. You know, your
Oh,
muscular physical
that's true.
body, diba? So the
Mm.
only thing that I know that has to be tall is the first baseman and the pitchers. For my my own stock knowledge of
Oh.
baseball. But yeah, I
Mhm.
agree. Baseball
Hmm.
is something that I think will excel in.
Oh, actually nga, sa baseball nga, kahit even if you cannot throw, pwede kang makasarte. Imagine, if you remember the movie Moneyball, or
Who?
actually,
Oh
Scott
yeah,
Hatteberg, di ba?
Hatterberg, my
Scott
man.
Hatteberg, di ba? He can't throw.
si
He was a
Butterbean.
catcher.
What's his name? What's his name again?
I
Scott
forgot.
Hatteberg.
Scott Hatterberg.
No. See
Hattie.
Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's
Billy Bean.
Billy Bean. Butterbean, diba? You see Butterbean.
Di ba?
Yeah,
But
but
tama ka naman yung logic, di ba? If he's
yeah,
a first baseman, his requirement of throwing a ball is very, very, very low. Kasi
Exactly.
sa kanya na yung huling dating ng bola eh.
Mhm.
So once
Or
that first baseman caught that ball, the only thing that ang isang tao na lang ang pagdadala nun is yung catcher,
yeah.
'di ba? And it's not all the time that a ball gets to the first base out somebody, na ibabato pa sa catcher. Very rare. Very
it
rare.
normally ends there. First base. Exactly.
Yes. It
Yeah,
normally
yeah.
ends there.
How about you, Claro?
Oh, I honestly can't think of anything else.
I know one, but
think
you'll
that's
hate it. I know one you'll hate it.
Oh yeah. Cricket?
Yes, precisely. I think no. I'm being serious here.
Yeah.
That's cricket.
It's also technical sport.
It's a very technical sport. It's being played in the subcontinent. The subcontinent is India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka,
Mm.
and they're not that tall. They're not tall. Oh, so wait. So I say cricket, and then you yawn.
Am I yawning? Am I yawning? No, I'm not. No, that
What
wasn't
are
my
you saying
intention.
about cricket?
That wasn't
Cricket
my
and you
intention.
yawn?
Yeah. I had
Yeah,
a long
so-
day.
It's okay.
Pero, no, there's another team sport that I can think of.
Sige.
Kaso pang mayaman ang dating nito.
Ano?
Polo.
I think you need
You need horses.
you
Well,
need-
You need the you need the
you
horse.
need reach
Pero
also.
yeah, you
I
need
mean-
because you have and you have to
Oh.
be. Well, if you're too tall, you might be.
I mean, 'di ba? 'Di ba? If you're horse racers, jockeys, 'di ba?
The jockeys are short, and small.
They're- They're
Yes.
practically midgets,
Ayun.
'di ba?
Yeah.
Aerodynamic din eh, di ba?
Yeah,
Equestrians
like racers,
are
they're
not
so-
tall.
Yeah, they're so.
Or not all, because they don't want to put any further strain on the horse, 'di ba? With
Pero
regards to their
ibang polo ibang polo kasi polo really you need the muscle hit eh.
Sa bagay, you need to hit,
Yeah,
'di
you
ba?
need to hit.
Sa bagay, yeah.
Yeah, you need to hit eh. Ako din, we forgot one individual sport that I think for me I think is we will excel in also. And actually madami to be honest. Is one that you guys actually practice your commentating.
Archery.
Archery,
Yes.
ang mahal nun.
It's a pricey,
Yeah, but-
expensive sport.
It's different, but we can achieve. But it's
Actually,
not
have good
gonna,
archers.
but it's
Oh.
not going to be as prestigious as tennis or prestigious as motorsport. To be honest, I mean that's something that we have to accept as well,
Mhm.
right? So, but
Oh.
I like the fact that motorsport, Claro, is something that we should also. I think we should try to invest in, but it's hard, it's expensive.
It is.
Pero
Well,
pa rin na magiging usapan dyan, hindi
Yeah.
kahit anong sport yan eh.
Yeah.
racing is
That's-
made
that's
quite
that.
sustainable. There was the Vios Cup, I think, before the pandemic, for years already.
Oh,
I know that they're
Oh, yeah.
attracting a good number of sponsors, no?
They were, yeah.
That and it's the Vios, it's your everyday car.
And there was a young
It's a-
people. Yeah.
it's a equivalent ng NASCAR sa US.
May mga bata in Vios
Oo.
Cup,
May
ng
bata,
younger people.
15-year-old.
Yes, oh.
I can't recall, but yeah, you can.
Yeah,
You can
may
race the Vios like that in the Vios Cup, but
You could
it is an
race-
individual sport in the aspect of you only being in the car.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, of course, you
Mm.
have your team of
Oh yeah,
mechanics
yeah, of
Oh,
setting
course.
everyone up,
Any
of
oh.
any
course.
individual sport naman, you have a team, you have a coach, everything.
Behind you, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
All
think
right.
yung VS Cup, the most prestigious thing that can reach uh, that kind of an event is yun nga, I mentioned yung NASCAR, diba?
NASCAR po, ikot-ikot ka lang.
Yes, but it's the same build na you're driving a stock car.
Stock car, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stock car.
stock
Yeah.
car. It's not that fast, pero it still has the same aspect of endurance, diba?
That's right. The
Eh,
best, the best
Yes. Basic build
movie,
yung NASCAR pa rin eh. But more
ganun
competitive,
pa rin.
of course.
the
Oh,
best movie on NASCAR is
Oh,
Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights.
I
Talladega
love that.
That
I
movie's
Talladega.
love that.
crazy.
I love that.
You won't stop laughing. Oh, that's a movie we recommend, by the way.
Yeah, please watch that because it's
gotta
Will
watch that.
Ferrell.
Oh,
It's amazing. Yeah.
I don't
Anyway,
want to spoil
so
anything.
yeah, so we're at the end of our podcast, and we're already like 45 minutes into it. But
Mhm.
I had another question. Maybe we could put that in another session, no? What do you guys think? Should we go on
sige
or
na natin.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
We can do it real quick.
we could
Oh,
go
sige natin.
sikat
Oh.
natin? Okay. So that we talked about sport and we talked about whether individual sport or team sport. For the two of you, and I'll answer later as well. What sport would you like to be involved in? And if ever you were an elite athlete in that sport or whatever sport, what team would you like to play in?
Mhm.
Sige.
Una, Claro.
Sige, Claro. I was just gonna say, Claro, ikaw.
Okay. I told you guys, no, individual or team, I prefer individual. That's just because I didn't get to experience it because I went for team.
Okay.
But if you just give me the choice, I'll go individual. I'll go for motor racing. But you pick an F1 team, that's hard.
Yeah. You have to pick one. You have to pick
That's
one.
hard, yes, because if you're Ferrari or if you're under the Red Bull system, they don't take care of their drivers. They don't take care of their drivers. That's tough, huh? Wow. Wow, given how they take care of their drivers, I never thought I'd say this, but I go for McLaren because of how,
Okay. Wow. All right.
right? Yeah. And they have such a free-flowing culture with Lando Norris getting to poke some fun. He has his chances to clown around, and then you get Daniel Ricciardo,
Daniel,
who's
yeah.
such a personality
Did you see him go like that?
in a good way. Exactly. And he's posting pictures now of his first dates with his
Oh, okay.
McLaren car,
Nice.
his
Nice.
company car. It is really funny. So I'd say McLaren because of how they took care of their guys. No, after all, they did race Lewis Hamilton.
Yes, they did.
They did race him before he went to Mercedes. Yes.
right.
And Hamilton won his first title there.
He started there, yeah.
Yes.
He
So
started
I'd
there.
go.
He started, yeah.
I wouldn't mind McLaren.
All right. So F1 and McLaren. How about you, Jay? So, but individual, no team sport, ah?
Hmm?
No,
So
for
basta say
Claro.
team.
For Claro. For no team
Okay.
sport for you,
Yes,
Claro?
that's my
Okay.
choice.
All right.
Sa akin, I tried individual na kasi. So, well, I played badminton and table tennis. So, I don't think I'm gonna be elite at that level. Pero if anything, kung masasama, kung napunta talaga ako sa sport talaga, I became an athlete, I think I'll be a baseball player.
Nice.
Because given of my lack of athleticism, given my lack of height, given my lack of quickness, pero yung basa lang ng sitwasyon, I think that's just gonna be my
Like
advantage.
the IQ. You
Yes,
mean. Yeah.
reading the situation, kung ano yung nasa field, what is required, what are the possible things that might happen, I can read on that quickly. I actually played softball nung college. So yun yung predecessor nun. So if I'm gonna be an elite athlete, I think I'll play baseball.
Dodgers, yes.
No.
Actually, I was really inclined with the Boston Red Sox before.
Mhm.
When
Wow.
back in the late 90s, early 2000s, because of the Curse of the Bambino.
The Curse of the Bambino. Yeah. Curse of
Yes,
the Bambino.
I thought they'll never win a World Series in
But they won.
100 years, diba? But they won in 2004, I believe,
Yeah,
diba?
correct.
In 2004.
After
So,
forever.
Curse of the
nung
Bambino.
nagde-develop yung utak ko, nagmamature na ng konti, diba? Ayaw ko na sa Red Sox.
What
Nalo
what
na sila eh.
what
Okay.
what position? What position in baseball?
I'll stick with my shortstop. It's my favorite position.
Okay, that's
You have
actually
to
you
be
have to be
fast as
very
shortstop.
fast. You have to be
Exactly.
very fast.
Yeah, it's a very the challenge. I like the challenge in that spot because you're somewhere in between. Ang dami mong kailangan i-cover, di ba?
Yeah, you have
You
to
have to
cover a
cover the
lot.
second base.
That's right.
You have to cover the
Third.
infield,
Yeah.
di ba? And then, in sometimes, depende do sa hitter mo, na yung fielder mo is gonna go way out.
Far. Yeah. So
Diba?
field.
So you have to cover his spot as well. Diba?
Galing.
In
Okay.
that near outfield.
Mhm.
Right.
It's really a difficult spot because you have to cover, again, three different areas in the field.
In
But
your position.
I
Yeah.
like that challenge.
That's good.
Ako yung taga-drive ng golf cart pag change pitcher dati, 'di ba? May golf cart.
Yeah.
Change pitcher
Before,
ako yun.
Now
oo.
hindi na.
Ang
Lakad
layo ng
sila,
bullpen
lakad
eh.
sila.
Layo ng bullpen.
All right.
No,
Wow.
syempre now may takbong mayaman eh. So you get to do it in style when you change. Yeah. Your answer, Claudia?
All right. My
Oh, ikaw
answer.
naman.
Wow. I played team sport for almost all my life.
As a basketball enforcer, 'di ba?
As a
NC?
basketball enforcer,
Oh.
played overseas, and if I were to play basketball, this is not my answer, but if I were to play in a team, I would play for the New York Liberty for basketball.
Nice.
I would play
Nice.
for the New York Liberty. Yeah.
MSG.
Oh gosh, yeah. But if I were to start over again, I would. I'm not that tall. I'm 5'7". I would stick with. I would go for tennis.
Mhm.
I would go for tennis.
Yeah.
And then hopefully get into the majors, of course.
You take care of your arm.
I have to take care of my arm, and then I'll probably have a
It's always
big left
injured.
or right arm. Yeah.
Injured.
And then I know. And then I have my one hand backhand.
Puro muscle tape.
My favorite players are always one-handed backhand.
Mhm.
Nadal. I mean, what's his name? Federer. Just
Mm.
Jordan. They're all one-handed. Yeah. So I'll go with tennis, but
Mhm.
my heart is really basketball and
Yeah.
football.
New York Liberty's not bad, Hey,
New
they're
York
better than the
Liberty.
Knicks.
Yeah. New York Liberty, and then for football, because I played football as well, I'll go for Arsenal. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
Before you wrap up, Claudia, I want to share a no bearing answer.
Okay, go.
2008, there was such big news about the diet of Michael Phelps.
Oh,
On that he'd eat I don't know, everything.
pizza like that.
No,
right?
everything. He'd eat a pound of pasta, X pounds of pancakes, etc.
Mabilis ang
Because
metabolism niya.
yes, and he'd burn all the calories from his
Yeah.
workouts.
Oo.
So when I heard about that and I read it in a feature, I'm like, man, I want to eat with Michael Phelps. I'm like,
Wala,
okay,
iba yung built niya, no? Iba
yeah.
yung-
If swimming makes you eat that much, like,
yeah, because
okay.
oxygen, diba? They say you breathe too much oxygen and then you.
Hindi,
Yeah.
you have to remember, pag nagsiswimming, pag may outing kayo, di ba? Tapos nag-swimming kayo sa resort, kasama mo pamilya mo, di ba? Family outing, di ba?
You eat
Your parents are gonna go, pag okay na yung pagkain, then you little kids are swimming, tatawagin kayo ng mami o ng tita niya, oh, tara na, kain na tayo. Then di mo papansin, you're gonna eat that much.
Yes,
Yeah.
the whole
Because you
body's
never knew
working.
you were hungry.
the whole body's
Yeah,
working.
the whole
That's
body's
why-
working. That's why I'm like, okay, no bearing answer na talaga, but swimming pwede rin because you get to eat a lot.
But you have to be
In that
tall.
situation.
You have to be
I
tall.
think my height is okay for local swimming hanggang ASEAN.
Yeah. Okay.
More or
I'll
less.
go with you. I'll go with you also. If we're in ASEAN, I would go for swimming as well.
Yeah,
I'm tall for a swimmer in the Philippines, but I
The
want to be
eating-
taller.
Yes, of course. The eating part got me, yeah. But my final answer will still be earlier.
Motor
yung
racing.
motorsports, yes.
Wow. So the two of us, Jay and I, are in team sport. I guess because I grew up in team sport. Jay grew up in as an individual, wanted something different, and then Claro stuck with his love of motorsport. So again, wow, I didn't know that this podcast was gonna be very, very interesting. It was
Yeah.
yeah, we
It was
had a
good. It
lot
was
of-
good.
It was good. I thought we were gonna be lasting like only 30 minutes, but wow, we had so many
Saya ka.
insights. And again, thank you guys for your opinions. Very good. I learned so much. I learned about training and technology, about our bodies. So hopefully, we got a Filipino to in the future either be in the motorsport, Formula One, or play in the majors, majors golf, and also maybe in tennis. So
or a
And not
gold
only that,
medal.
yeah, or doubles,
Yeah.
or we see we see ourselves a Filipino team in in baseball winning in the Olympics. If there is an Olympic sport, it's an Olympic sport, diba? Baseball.
I know it is. Yes.
Yes, yes. It's an
Oh
Olympic
yeah,
sport.
hopefully
Yeah.
we win that. So
We'd own
again,
SEA Games.
wala tayo sa SEA Games women.
Barely. It depends on the host. Eh.
Yeah, it
The other
depends on the
countries
host.
aren't good in
Oh,
baseball, so they
depende
only
yan.
play it in the Philippines because we're the Americans in baseball too.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
And we love our hot dogs while we watch baseball. Anyway,
Yes.
so thank you so much, guys. And the Olympics, we still don't know whether it's gonna push through or not. But I think everyone in this
Aga pa.
podcast,
Aga pa.
yeah, everyone in this podcast is praying that the Olympics pushes through so that we could not see just only our athletes, but every athlete in the world. And
Mhm.
again, this is episode 33. Wow, we're 33 episodes in. Thank you again, guys. Please follow us on Facebook, which is Who the Heck Are We, as well on Instagram, which is Who the Heck Are We _PH. Please follow us, and if you have any suggestions on what
Oh,
kind of topic we would like
mailbag.
to tackle, please let
Mhm.
us know, and we'll hopefully be able to give our own opinions. And thank you, guys. Well done. And again,
Subscribe 5 stars.
five subscribe, 5 stars, and cheesecake from
Homemadeph.com.
awesome. Thank you, guys.